you guys speak up a little bit. Don't need to tell them one off of my screen.
Why? That's one of my specialties.
And then when a bunch of the stuff that gets completed, we had everything.
We won't be around.
When I was president of the junior league, I cut the ribbon a couple times on things I had really nothing to do with, except in supporting it as a board member. But it evens out, because like you say, somebody else will get the credit for the stuff that you started. They kind of hype it.
Really, that's just the way it is. To me, it's
I'm Gustafson. I'm the Assistant Library Director. And on behalf of the library system, I'd like to express how delighted we are that you are here to join us for this exciting event this morning. Now please let me introduce Clearwater's City Manager, Mr. Bill Horn.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the groundbreaking ceremony for Clearwater's new main library. It's an exciting, well, let me say this, it's a warm and exciting day in the city of Clearwater. Our community has hoped for a much-needed new main library for many, many years. Now this hope will become a reality. The first steps toward the construction of the new library will begin next week. You know, there's something about seeing is believing, and I think we can all attest to that this morning. While today is a significant milestone in this project, there have already been major accomplishments, including the relocation of the library across the street and the demolition of the old library building. If you haven't been to our temporary library location across the street, you ought to go there and see what an amazing job the staff has done. We're moving forward on schedule. That's always important, and it truly is a great day for our city. I'd like to take the time now to acknowledge our elected officials, beginning with our Mayor, Brian Ox, who's seated behind me. Our Vice Mayor, Whitney Gray. Commissioner Hort Hamilton. Commissioner Frank Hibbert. And standing outside the tent, State Representative Kim Burfield. Also, I would like to acknowledge our Library Director, John Zabo. John. Our Public Works Administrator, Machie Aristay, I don't know whether she is here. Okay, there she is. And our Public Services Director, Gary Johnson. Where's Gary? You know, it is important for you to at least see these people, because on a day-to-day basis, they are responsible to making sure that everything happens the way we expect. At this time, I'd like to introduce Reverend William Sherman for our invocation.
Good morning. Let us bow our heads in prayer.
America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated.
Tim's honor, please. Thank you very much. Well, we having fun yet? All right. As you know, Clearwater has valued its libraries, and at no time has this been more evident than today. A community that invests over $20 million in a new main library in its downtown, $5 million of which is from private funds, shows that it believes in education, lifelong learning, and all of the cultural opportunities that a library provides. It says even more when a community decides to place its main library in such a prominent location as this one right here, overlooking our beautiful waterfront. This new 90,000 square foot building will be a spectacular destination for our citizens and visitors. It'll feature a cafe, gallery space, a special storytime room for children, a local history room, computer lab, and much to the delight of many of the people here, a teen area. For years, a new main library in downtown Clearwater was only a dream, something we all had on our wish list. However, in September of 2000, the City Commission moved forward with plans for this 90,000 square foot library. We listened to the community, to library supporters, and committed to the public-private partnership with the Clearwater Library Foundation. The foundation generously agreed to spearhead a $5 million capital campaign, a campaign that we all know is destined to be successful. I want to take a moment right now to thank that previous commission, because I am the only one that's still left here in office, and they deserve a lot of this credit. We had some spirited discussions. We had some debate. There was talk of building a $15 million library that the city could afford and making it only 64,000 square feet. But to their credit, they showed the vision that Reverend Sherman talked about in his prayer. They said, let's give these folks an opportunity, and I think J.B. Johnson, Ed Hart, Ed Hooper, and Bob Clark deserve a big round of applause for their commitment. Of course, as you know, the current City Commission has continued the commitment to this project, approving the final construction authorization for the site work and foundation of the new building. All of the citizens of Clearwater can be proud today that we are moving forward with this project. And I want to, on behalf of the Clearwater City Commission and the administration, thank each and every one of you to your dedication, hard work, your financial commitment to this project. You've heard me say it before, I'll say it again, it always bears repeating. The city government, the county, state governments cannot always do it by themselves. It's through the dedication, the generosity, and the hard work of all you wonderful citizens in our community that together, working together, we can always effectuate positive change. Be proud of what you've accomplished. I look forward to coming back here, I think in December of next year, to helping you cut the ribbon. Thank you for attending today, and enjoy your accomplishment. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Oaks. And now it is my very great pleasure to introduce one of the most outstanding library directors in the state of Florida, and indeed the nation, who just happens to be my boss, Mr. John Szabo.
Good morning. Boy, is this an exciting day. If you're not excited, just look behind me at that wonderful space back there where a new library is going to be shortly. In 1911, a group of citizens in Clearwater, when the population of our community was just about 1,200, a group of people who thought it was important to have a library in Clearwater formed a group called the Clearwater Library Association, and they established a little library on the second floor of the People's Bank building in downtown Clearwater. And after a couple of years and success in that library, they began a correspondence with the Carnegie Foundation in New York to get a $10,000 grant to build a new library, a permanent library, in our city. They also asked the city to support that library with city funds and to operate it on an ongoing basis, and the city agreed. And today, we continue building on a great tradition, that great tradition of public-private partnership, with significant funding, as the mayor mentioned, from both public and private sources. The Carnegie Library served us for 86 years. And again, the Carnegie Library is just on the extreme southeast corner of this site that you see. And I tell you, while there was sadness 2 weeks ago when library staff and the temporary library across the street and other onlookers saw that building come down, there was also a tremendous amount of energy in the air and excitement as we turned from wanting a new library, hoping for a new library, to actually realizing a new library was coming, and to see this magnificent site that we stand on today. Also want to let you know that we have kept several hundred bricks from the original Carnegie Library, and you'll be learning more about those from the Clearwater Library Foundation at a later date. And we also were able to preserve pieces of the original granite tablet that hung over the main entrance to the Carnegie Library that said Clearwater Library. So we're very happy to have preserved those. But today, as I said, it's filled with excitement as we anticipate the spectacular new building that will sit on this site. Just to let you know, our new 90,000 square foot library will stretch from the fence you see behind us all the way to the south parking lot. We have it staked off, so afterwards, after the ceremony, if you'd like to look, we do have stakes in the ground that mark the outer perimeter of the library. Where this tent, the shovels over there, by the way, are in the West Terrace, just outside the cafe of the new library, just to give you some perspective of the new building. Clearwater Public, wonderful groups that support us and advocate on our behalf. I'd like to acknowledge and recognize those groups at this time. And I'd like to pause until I announce all members of the group. I'd like to begin with our Library Advisory Council, a group appointed by our City Commission. Judy Melgis, Chair, Tom Levy, Howard Adler, Fred Dunn, Glenn Gart, Katie Merriam, and Rhonda Smith. Thank you. Our partners, the city's partners in this project, introduce the Friends of the Clearwater Library Board. Tony Bacon, who is president, was not able to be with us today. He's in New Hampshire over the summer, but we have Carol Caglin, vice president, with us. Rita Garvey, June Straken, David Berry, Rex Clark, Estelle Dunn, Georgia Eason, Beverly Fay, Judy Melgis. Kate have wonderful teams that support the library. At the main library base there is our Youth Advisory Committee, and their sponsor Janet Fine, and also the Daskalozia Puppeteers. If there are any members of that team group, would you please stand? Thank you. Ronald Stout Chair is here. Lorraine Mayfield Brown, Vice Chair. Thank you. And also we have some library directors with us. Barbara Murphy from Largo, Elizabeth O'Brien from Tarpon Springs, and also the executive director of the Tampa Hard Hats, and they're ready to work. And I'll tell you, moving a 50,000 square foot building that was behind me just 3 weeks ago into the building across the street was an incredible feat, as a couple of our speakers have mentioned. And I'd like all members of the library staff throughout our...
Thank you, John. And now it's my pleasure to introduce Mr. Jim Harper from the Main Library Capital Campaign, Clearwater Library Foundation.
Today is a very special day in the history of the city of Clearwater and the Clearwater Main Library. And today, I grew up here. Let me say that I read my way through the Hardy Boy detective stories. And then I started the Nancy Drew detective stories. I was raised in a very liberal Southern family. So my dad said, you got to read everything. And when John told me where the scope and size, and he said, went to the fence, and he actually said, goes to where those trucks are. I mean, it is a big building. And if this is the grand staircase, I'm waiting for the air conditioner. It's supposed to be part of it. It is hot. We have some special people here today. The Eckert family is not here. They're in North Carolina cooling off. They're probably the smartest ones here. But they're represented by Mr. Les Smout. But those of you that have known the Eckerts know that the quality of life in Clearwater would not be what it is today if it hadn't been for this family. They've been very, very generous over the years, and they continue to be generous, and they've set up trust and foundations where they'll continue on into the future. But they have issued a $2 million challenge grant. That means for everybody that is willing to pledge $25,000 to the new library, they'll match it with $25,000. So if any one of you want to come see me afterwards, I'll take it in terms, I'll take it over years, but for every dollar you give, the Eckerts are willing to give us another dollar.
I think we're okay.
That's how we'll do it when we break ground.
I've got to be a reference, right?
Mayor, whenever you're ready.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Let's get some pros in there.
Glad we had a lot of friends. If you'd like to take your shoulder more than
At some point. Nancy's
They can hear you cackling. She says no. Oh yeah, they can hear you cackling. She froze. She's serious. I can see the recorder. I'm going to say what you
Oh, yeah. Holy
about taking the train from Washington.
It's actually less miles, but it's about the same. Still the same exact. You just go with that with this
Great day for you. Actually, Bernie remembers it. Bernie went to very nice.
I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't finish that race. They're moving right along. They're watching.
Sitting underneath the sun, they just had a groundbreaking ceremony.
And now we get to make sure that they get to watch for us. Which I find offensive as a parent.
really good flying. And everything else was
I gotta put Rusty's picture up on a website. I applied for financial aid for surgery.